All right, let's rip the band-aid off and talk about the deal sourcing dream. You know, the one where people promise you can make easy money finding other people's deals and taking a cut. They pitch it like it's some kind of magical side hustle. Like you can wake up, scroll Rightmove for 5 minutes and suddenly you're 10k richer. Spoiler alert, it's absolute bullshit. Deal sourcing is hard. It's harder than trying to fold a fitted sheet or get a toddler to eat vegetables. And that's why most of you would be better off doing literally anything else. Let's break it down. Why this so-called business model is basically a dead end for 99% of people. What even is deal sourcing? For the blissfully unaware, deal sourcing is where you find a property deal, could be house, land, or even a dodgy pub. Someone's trying to flog it. You present it to an investor, and if they decide it's worth their time, they pay you a fee. Simple, right? Yeah. And eating one salad makes you a fitness instructor. Here's how it's sold. You find deals, slap together a shitty PDF, send it to an investor, and then boom, money hits your account while you sip champagne in a hot tub. Sounds like a dream, doesn't it? Well, wake up, because the reality is more like cold call hell, endless ghosting, and squabbling over peanuts while everyone else is eating steak. You've seen the ads, make 10k a week on sourcing deals, or those Instagram posts with someone flexing their rented Lambo, claiming they've cracked the code. I'm here to tell you that if you believe that, you've officially entered clown territory. The only people making consistent money are the ones selling you the dream. And the worst part, most people fall for it. So why is deal sourcing a shit strategy for cash? Let's get into it. Why deal sourcing sucks and how to actually build real wealth. Buckle up, because this isn't going to be one of those fluffy motivational chats. This is cold, hard truth. Number one, finding good deals is like winning the lottery. The first problem, finding an investable deal is ridiculously hard. It's not like deals are just lying around waiting for you to scoop them up. The market is crowded, it's competitive, and frankly full of overpriced crap that's not worth a second look. You're competing against seasoned investors, agents, and let's face it, people who are way better at you than this. Even if you manage to find a decent deal, it's not consistent. 1 month you might find something great, and the next, nothing, nada, zilch. It's like fishing in a pond where all the fish were caught 5 years ago. And let's not forget the legwork, viewings, due diligence, negotiation with sellers. It's exhausting. I've been to thousands of viewings, and guess what? I still mess it up sometimes. If you think you're going to nail it right out the gate, you're up for a rude awakening. Next up, good luck finding investors. The kicker, even if you find a deal, who's buying it? Investors don't just fall out the sky. And no, the guy in your WhatsApp group promising to buy any deal, no questions asked, isn't real. If you're banking on him, you might as well play the lottery. Real investors are picky. They want proof, track records, and actual numbers, not just some hopeful pitch from someone who watched a few YouTube videos. And even when you do find someone that is interested, half of the time, they'll cut you out and take the deal for themselves. Yep, welcome to the Wild West of property. Now, let's talk about the joke of all of this, co-sourcing. Some of you might be thinking, what about co-sourcing? Sharing deals with other sources. Let me save you the time. It's an absolute clusterfuck. Every time you add another person to the chain, the risk increases and your slice of the pie shrinks. By the time everyone takes their cut, you're left with crumbs. It's like trying to split a biscuit between 10 people. You end up hungrier than when you started. Now let's look at the brutal reality of deal sourcing. Like, let's get real about the success rates. They're awful. The odds are not in your favor. Here's a fun exercise. Go find the next 100 deal sources on Instagram or Facebook, write their names down, then check company's house in 5 years' time. How many are still trading? Maybe 1 or 2? The rest, they quit. Because deal sourcing is unsustainable, exhausting, and quite frankly, a waste of time for most people. The reason they were sold a fantasy, they spent money on overpriced courses, got hyped up, and then realized the truth. It's a grind with no guarantee or payoff. Most of them quit before they even close a single deal. All right, so now that we've thoroughly dismantled the dream of deal sourcing, let's talk about what you should be doing instead. If you're here, chances are you want more than a grind that barely pays the bills. You want financial freedom, time freedom, and a way to build real wealth without the constant stress and hustle. Sounds about right? This is where the ContractorBnB model comes in. It's not just a game changer. It's the damn solution you've been waiting for. At its core, the ContractorBnB model is about leveraging short-term rental properties to serve high-demand niches, primarily contractors traveling, professionals, and tradespeople. It's not about chasing holiday let or competing with thousands of Airbnb hosts catering to tourists. It's about carving out a niche in a market that's predictable, sustainable, and ridiculously profitable. Instead of hoping for bookings from tourists looking at Instagram-worthy stays, you're targeting working professionals who need reliable, no-fuss accommodation for weeks and even months at a time. These guys aren't here for the decor. They're here to work, and they'll pay you handsomely for giving them a clean, comfortable, and functional place to stay. But why does this model work? It gives you steady income. Contractors don't come for a weekend. They stay for weeks, sometimes months, sometimes years. That means longer bookings and fewer gaps between guests. You're not chasing bookings daily or praying for peak season demand. You can reduce your stress with this model. You're not dealing with high-maintenance holiday makers who want fresh croissants delivered at 7 a.m. Your guests are practical. They need a decent bed, a hot shower, fast Wi-Fi, and a place to park their van. Give them that and they're happy. They're low hassle. The return on investment with ContractorBnB can be insane compared to traditional rentals and the standard Airbnb game. You're talking properties that might rent for $1,000 a month and turning them into cash flowing machines generating $3,000 to $6,000 a month, all with minimal stress because your guests aren't there to party. They're there to work. This strategy also has market resilience. Contractors and professionals are traveling all the time. They don't stop working because it's January and no one's booking holiday lets. Their demand is year-round, giving you a reliable income stream. Once you're set up with the right systems, this model practically runs itself. We're talking automated booking management, streamlined communication, outsourced cleaning. You don't need to be glued to your phone 24/7 like some overworked Airbnb host. Now let's get real for a second. Right now, you're probably hustling like mad. Maybe you're juggling a job or trying to make something like deal sourcing work, but it feels like you're running around in circles. The bank account isn't where you want it to be, your stress levels are through the roof, and the dream of freedom feels further away than ever. Imagine flipping that script. With the ContractorBnB model, you're not just scraping by, you're building something that you can completely change your life with. Picture this. You've got 5 ContractorBnBs, each generating $2,000 a month in net profit. That's $10,000 a month in your pocket. Not turnover, profit. That's $120,000 a year from 5 properties. And guess what? You're not killing yourself to manage them because the systems you've set up do most of the work. Think about what it would feel like to actually have your time back, to spend mornings with your kids, hit the gym without rushing, or just sit down with a coffee without feeling like the world is on fire. With this model, you're not chained to your business. It works for you, not the other way around. And here's the best part. Scaling isn't that hard. Once you've got the first property running smoothly, it's rinse and repeat. You're not trying to reinvent the wheel every single time. You've got a good system and it works. Scaling becomes less about grinding and more about plugging in the pieces. Now, the ContractorBnB model isn't about luxury homes or flashy locations. It's about practicality. Look for properties near industrial hubs, construction sites, or major infrastructure projects. These are the areas where contractors are traveling and professionals are working. Learn the business model. It's not enough to throw property on Airbnb and hope for the best. You need to understand how to market to your niche, set competitive pricing, and deliver what your guests actually want. And automation is going to be your best friend. Use platforms like Airbnb and Booking.com for visibility, but invest in tools to automate bookings, communication, and cleaning schedules. The less hands-on you are, the more scalable this becomes. And here's the best part. You don't need to buy these properties outright or with your money. You can use creative strategies or private investor funds. That will build your portfolio. This is how you scale quickly without needing massive amounts of upfront cash. And when you do this, it's not just about the money. Though let's be honest, the money is amazing. It's about the life you can build with it. Right now, you're probably stuck in a cycle of stress, working harder and harder, but never feeling like you're getting anywhere. That's not freedom. That's a hamster wheel. The ContractorBnB model is your way off that wheel. It's a way to take control of your time, your finances, and your future. It's about building something that works for you, not the other way around. Imagine waking up one morning and realizing you're finally living the life you've been dreaming about. No more hustling for scraps, no more chasing deals that never pan out. Just a business that runs smoothly, generates consistent income, and gives you the freedom to live life on your terms. Look, deal sourcing might work for a handful of people, but for most, it's a dead-end road. The ContractorBnB model, on the other hand, is a proven, sustainable sustainable way to build wealth without burning yourself out. Stop chasing quick wins and start building something real. Take control, create a business that gives you the life you deserve. I'll see you at the top.